3 clues that reveal Stacey to be the killer. The first, well, it's a pair of clues really. It's on Christmas Day and on Boxing Day. Christmas Day, Stacey disappears. She sees Bradley, then he disappears, then she disappears. It's never explained or referred to where she's gone. She just disappears. And then on Boxing Day, she's back. She's back, has to be said, looking a little ruffled, a little bit not quite with it, as Roxy thrusts Amy into her arms. She's also the first face that you see in the Boxing Day post-murder episode. So Archie dies, the next face you see is Stacey. The second clue that is not in the show but around the show is that when we did the trail for Christmas Day, Stacey's the first face you see. Is that a clue or is that just a kind of quirk of fate? I don't know, I say it's a clue. And the third clue, well, I think this is the most telling actually, is that when we get to Archie's funeral, there's only one character who's still sufficiently angry at Archie to spit on his grave, and that's Stacey Slater. Lacey was apprehensive because she'd been asked to come and see me half an hour before the live episode, and she had an idea what that would mean. And I told her, I said, "You killed Archie," and she reacted and said something I can't repeat, but kind of went with it pretty quickly. And she was thinking right, and I could see what she was doing was in her head. Think about her performance, think about the last scene. We talked a little bit about the last scene actually, because she'd done it in rehearsal. Obviously, I'd seen her do it. And we talked a bit about it, and the other thing we talked over the weeks about the possibility of her being the killer. So it wasn't like the first time that she ever thought about it, and she went out and did it. And I have to say that given that it was an hour from me telling her to her giving that amazing performance, that delivery, that final scene, I'm just in awe of her. I think she's brilliant. It wasn't totally fair me doing this with the actors where I didn't tell them till quite late. Bless them, they all went with it, and she absolutely nailed it and delivered. I'm really proud of her. I took 4 people into the room. I took Lacey into the room first because I wanted her the most time to think about it. I took Jake Wood, who plays Max, into the room because he needed to know that he wasn't the killer, but B, he was going to be in the final scene supporting Lacey. I said to them both individually, talk to each other about it perhaps, but don't talk to anyone else. And then I brought in 2 decoys. I brought in Rocksteady Scott Maslin in because I knew that whatever I said to him, it wouldn't ruffle him, and that was lovely. We just had a funny little chat, and I brought in Neil McDermott, Ryan, in as well, because we talked the other day, and he told me he didn't have that much to do in the episode, so he wouldn't be that nervous beforehand. So I thought, well, I can use him as a decoy as well, because I knew that some people had clocked that I'd gone into this room, and I didn't want everyone to work out exactly what was going on and be completely clear based on who was going in and out of it, what exactly was going on inside. We chose Stacey right at the beginning, really. We thought that there were a number of suspects with a really clear and direct motive to kill Archie, namely the Mitchells, Jack, Janine, Ian. But we also wanted to throw some suspects into the mix who had an angle on him, but it was less clear cut, like Stacey, like Ryan, I guess. You could argue Billy. And so we worked quite hard to draw attention away from her. But then in recent weeks, as the story went on, we realised that if we drew too much attention away from her, then it would become too apparent that that's what we were doing. So that's why, as the story went on, we had her do things like spit on Archie's grave, just so that it wasn't so clear that we were looking the other way. We also picked her because we believe her motive. She's when she was ill last year, Archie took advantage of her. He used her while she was down, and she finds it hard to forgive him for that. I don't think she meant to kill him, and I think it was a spontaneous act from her. I can believe her wanting to hurt him. I can't really believe her wanting to kill him. And we thought that in the long term, she's such a great character, such a great actress, it would be a really interesting thing to play with her.